Okay, functional fitness family, welcome back. It's C-Day. You are going to experience the full range of phase 4 in all of its glory. Okay, so you've dominated A day and B day. Can't wait for you guys to experience C day. All right, so we are sticking with our same familiar format. I'm going to work on movement prep for about 10 minutes today, and then we'll get right into that intense superset. Okay, so remember, we're in week 13, so we're just going to 7 rounds of 7 repetitions, and then we're following that up with a high repetition. Today's superset exercise is band pull apart. Okay, so we're going to pair up a squat. Hopefully you have the courage to attempt to use the barbell. It's a fantastic tool. And we'll follow that up with a band pull apart on each round. Okay. So remember, in subsequent weeks, the number of sets or rounds go up, the number of repetitions go down, and the intensity of the weight moved on the bar increases each week. Okay. So let's get into the movement prep. First thing we're going to do is lie down on our back again today. So we'll start from the ground up, kind of work on our joints through a full range of motion. Going to go to that active isolated hamstring stretch. And we'll go about 10 repetitions on everything again today. That's going to be the magical number. So 10 reps with that. I'm going to switch straight to the other side. Just a reminder, you want to try to keep your down leg, so in this case my right leg, keep that knee all the way as straight as you can. Keep the toe straight up to the ceiling. Trying to make sure you're in a long stance. Okay, and now we're going to switch to the active straight leg raise. Okay, so the idea with this is to try to fire that quadricep muscle first as you raise that leg up off the floor. Make sure that thing stays all the way straight. There's no flexion in it whatsoever. And you're going to raise that whole leg up as high as you possibly can. Okay, try to make sure that your toe is pulled up towards the shin and that there's no movement in your down leg. So we'll go 10 repetitions on the left, 10 repetitions on the right. One other thing that you'll notice is I'm squeezing my fists. That really helps to kind of incorporate a little bit more muscle into the movement. And I'm also pressing the ground with my fists and forearms. Okay, drawing the belly button in is also a key for this one. It keeps that core brace locked in nice and tight. Gives you a better platform to raise your leg up off of. Okay, now progressing up, this is the next level up from the active straight leg raise. It's called leg lowering. So you're going to start with both legs up in the air and you're going to lower one down, still trying to keep your up leg reaching for the ceiling. This one's very challenging to keep that drawn in position. Still trying to go as full range of motion as you can. One way you can regress this, if it is very difficult for you to get your leg close to the floor, is just bring the floor up to your lowering leg. So placing a pillow, a foam roll, or something underneath that so it shortens the range of motion just a little bit. That's a really good way to kind of build up this exercise, being able to do it all the way up and down. Okay, drawing that belly button in, those abdominal muscles probably burn just a little bit. Okay, next we're going to go some side lying hip circles. Okay, so trying to create a straight long line all the way, ankle through the ear on the leg that's closer to the floor. And what we're going to do is going to bring the knee up to the chest, so knee up, toe up. And then you're going to rotate your whole upper leg into internal rotation, trying to bring the ankle to the ceiling as you extend that hip joint. Okay, you notice I'm trying to raise my leg up as high as I can, all the way out and around, even as I raise that ankle. Okay, so it's kind of touching the end range of motion of that hip joint, kind of similar to the joint circles that we do on the other days, just in the opposite end of that range of motion. Okay, so going 10 repetitions. You might find this very challenging. You also might not get that much range of motion, but if you keep with it, this will improve a lot over the next 4 weeks. Okay, so same thing on the other leg, switching to the other side, 10 repetitions. So knee up to the chest. Trying to keep a long line, ear through the ankle, as much as you can, disassociating. So only thing that's moving as much as possible is that ball and socket joint. I'm struggling a little bit here on my left side. You might notice If you're like me, one side is a lot more challenging than the other to disassociate. So it's burning just quite a bit more. Getting all those little hip rotator muscles firing though. It's going to make those squats turn out better. Okay. Next, going to try a short plank. Okay. So we have our joints stacked, shoulder over elbow, hip over hip. Our lower legs in contact with the floor. Our knee, our shin, and our ankle are all in contact. Okay. You're going to raise your upper leg up, trying to keep it straight in line with the rest of your body. Okay. Not letting it drift out in front. In fact, if you can even pull it back just a little bit behind the body, it makes it even more effective. Okay, so abducting or bringing that leg away from midline of the body is going to work all those muscles on the outsides of the hip, get those things kind of fired up and working really well for the squats to come. Okay, now we're going to work into a world's greatest from a push-up position. And we will do 5 repetitions on each side of this. So just remember that same side elbow of that front leg. So that right elbow goes down, right arm reaches up, hips rock up and back. Okay, 5 reps. Trying to create that straight long line from the ear through the ankle on that left side. There we go. And now we'll switch to the other side. So bring that left foot up by the left hand, dropping the left elbow down, reaching the left arm up, rocking the hips up and back, trying to create that triangle between the floor and both of your legs. This is a great full range of motion exercise for that hip, and it adds a little bit of rotation to the spine as well. Okay, so next we're going to go some hip pop-ups. Reaching down to the toes, pulling ourselves into that low squat. Trying to work the ankles, tracking straight over the toes as far as you can, keeping the feet flat. As you drop down into that low squat, chest is up. Trying to extend that spine. Remember the elbows are inside the knees, pushing the knees outward, kind of stretching the groin muscles of the hips there. So 10 repetitions here. Very good. Okay, now we're going to switch into a lunge matrix. We're going to go 4 lunges. We're going to go some different reaches each time. So first one, we're reaching down to the floor. Okay. Next one, we're reaching up to the ceiling as you lunge forward. The last one, we're going to twist across your forward leg. Okay, so lunge out, twist. Always twist in the same direction as your lunging leg. Okay. Now we're going to switch to some lateral lunges, doing the same exact thing. Catching the ground on the first 2, reaching up on the next 2, and then twisting across your lunging leg on the last one. Okay. Now the last version of the lunges, we're doing a drop step lunge. Okay, so we're trying to point our feet in opposite directions of each other. 90 degrees and stepping backwards and slightly to the side. So touching the ground 1 time each lunge, reaching up 1 time each lunge, and then twisting across that lunging leg 1 time each lunge. Okay. Next one, we're going to do a little bit of balance. Okay. So driving our leg in the same planes of motion that we reached on B day. Okay. So forward and backwards with the reaches. Trying to drive the balance, perturb the balance with our foot, reaching as far out as we can. So forward and backwards 3 times, side to side 3 times, out wide and across the body. And then we'll rotate, trying to make a T and then an L with our feet. So a T in front and an L in back 3 times each. So challenging that balance. You can make it a little bit more challenge by just hovering your foot above the floor and not letting it touch. You don't have to touch the foot, but if you start to lose your balance, you're more than welcome to put it down. Okay. So 3 times each, forward and backwards, lateral and crossover, then making a T, making an L. Open up and close it off. Okay, 3 times each. And the last thing we're going to do is that wall push calf raise. So taking care of that lower leg and the Achilles again. Remember, you're trying to get some forward lean into the wall. Trying to create a straight long line from the ankles up to the ear of your support leg. Pushing through the big toe and the ball of the foot. If for some reason, if this bothers your foot, your big toe, or your ankle, you can always do this same exercise elevated on a step or some elevated surface that gets you full range of motion to that ankle, okay? You can just do it standing straight up. A reminder as well, if you're doing the wall push version with the forward lean, try to drive that knee up to the wall. So hips are going forward towards the wall, knee goes forward towards the wall. It reinforces some of the running mechanics as well as the core stability required to run well. So 20 repetitions each side is the magical number for the wall push calf raises or the standing calf raises, however you choose to do them. Pushing through the ball of the foot and the big toe. Driving on up. There we go. Okay. So it was exactly 10 minutes. You put all of your joints through a full range of motion. You activated some of your key muscle groups. And you got yourself ready for the workout. So now you guys are going to be ready and you're going to be primed to get more out of the movements we're going to do. Okay, we feel great. We're all warmed up. We're ready to move some weight. So like I said in the beginning, we're going to go ahead and do 7 rounds of 7 repetitions. We'll pair up a barbell back squat. You can always substitute a front squat, a landmine squat, or a goblet squat still if you're more comfortable with that. Just try to make sure that you have enough load to really challenge your body, especially as the repetitions drop over the next few weeks, okay? So 7 reps of back squat, and we're going to follow up those back squats immediately with a band pull apart exercise, okay? You get up to 2 minutes in between the start of each round. So the faster you finish, the more rest that you get. Okay. So, let's get started. Okay. So with a back squat, remember, same exact principles apply as a goblet squat, still keeping your torso nice and rigid, belly button drawn in, ribs down. Remember, you want to exhale on the way up. Make sure you're driving through both feet evenly. Okay. You get to grab a band of your choice, and you're going to do 20 repetitions, after the 7 reps of the squats, okay? So remember principles of a band pull apart. You are drawing that band apart, trying to only allow the ball and socket joint to move until it touches your chest. Trying to pull the shoulders down away from the ears and squeeze those shoulder blades together in the middle of your back, okay? Always make sure you have a strong wrist so your knuckles point to the walls on either side of you, all right? So we'll pause that there after that first round, just as an example. Remember, we'll always kind of fast forward through these rounds because it changes each week. So just kind of give you an example of what the superset looks like. Okay. So just a reminder, we've already talked about it twice on A day and B day. So week 13 or week 1 of this phase, you have 7 rounds of 7 reps on the barbell back squat at 55% of your max. Remember, you want to have probably try to establish that maximum safely with great technique, okay? Week 2 of the phase, or week 14, you have 6 rounds of 6 repetitions, going to bump up to 60%. In week 3 of the phase, or week 15 total, we're going up to 8 rounds of 5 repetitions, and we'll jump up to 65%. And then on week 16, the final week, we're going to go to 10 rounds of 4 repetitions, and we'll jump up to 70%, okay? So the volume stays relatively the same, kind of drops down a little bit overall with reps. The intensity jumps up, keeps your body adapting, and remember, you'll always follow the core lift with that 20 round, that contrasting set, okay? Following the supersets today, we'll just go ahead and talk about it, is we have a 3 exercise circuit, just 3 rounds of 10 repetitions on each exercise. You just kind of go at your own pace. You have about 15 minutes, but it'll really will take, 5 to 6 minutes or maybe even less if you're really trucking, okay? So the 3 exercise circuit for C day is pull-ups. If you don't have a chin-up bar or a pull-up bar at home, you can always use the band strung up over a door, being creative with that. Just the vertical pulling down motion is what's important with that. You'll follow that with a seated Russian twist, so grab some sort of a load. Try to hover your feet up off the floor and rotate that torso. And then the final exercise is just rolling over in your stomach and do a prone swimmer. Okay. And once you finish with that, then we're moving on to the conditioning. So get after it. Okay, you did it. Great job. It is time for our conditioning finisher. We're going to go back to a phase 2 favorite. Okay, it's the VO2 max intervals. Okay, so remember this is a true kind of longer duration, high intensity interval, which means that you're going all out. Okay, in the last phase we did those threshold intervals. This one's the VO2 max. This means you got to max it out. Okay, so for 4 minutes you're going to go as hard as you can, whatever that means. You're running, you're doing burpees, you're doing wall balls, you're hitting that bike, whatever that means. Just go all out for 4 minutes as hard as you possibly can, trying to push through fatigue, okay? You're getting upwards of like 2, 3, 4 minutes. Your body's gonna be screaming at you, but you gotta make the decision to keep on pushing hard, okay? After 4 minutes of all out effort, you're taking 2 minutes of complete rest, okay? So don't do anything, just chill, relax. And then you're going to do that whole thing one more time. So that will take exactly 10 minutes and it will be worth it. You're going to be blasting through those calories, building all those energy systems to their max. Okay. And that will complete our phase 4, and you will have mastered one of the more challenging workout programs I've ever put together in the functional fitness program. So great job. Get after it. Let us know if you have any questions and how we can help make this experience better for you.